Welcome Guardians, thanks for tuning in to today's video. I'm Profane, and today we'll be going over something that has become quite a topic of discussion around the watering holes, and that is the new darkness-based subclass to come along with the release of Witch Queen DLC. Now Bungie is expected to reveal details to the Witch Queen on August 24th, which many believe will be the reveal of this new element of darkness. Many Guardians have theorized and project that this new subclass is going to be a corruption-based subclass and has been coined with a few names so far, including Vapor and Poison. So today I want to dig into this possibility and look at what Guardians can expect to see out of a darkness-based class when the Witch Queen arrives in 2022. Now, as always, if you enjoy the video, I'd love for you to hit the like button below, and if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well. Both are greatly appreciated. Now, a new corruption-based subclass would be the newest of the darkness-powered classes. The Beyond Light DLC introduced Guardians to the first of potentially 3 darkness-powered classes with Stasis, and since its inception, it has been a very strong subclass. Albeit, Stasis has been riddled with glitches and consistency issues, but it remains to be one of the most used classes against the 3 light-based classes. But what would a Vapor-based class offer Guardians? Well, the answer may have been under our noses this whole time in a few different ways. Now first, let's look at the Thorn, as it's the most obvious place to start with a Vapor-themed class. Now, this exotic hand cannon creates remnants that can be picked up by the wielder to increase the damage caused by the Thorn's piercing, poisonous bullets. When struck by these bullets, enemies endure damage over time effects, along with a concussive green hazed state while taking that damage. This is something that Bungie could easily incorporate into a new aspect or fragment of the Vapor class tree for the Hunter, Warlock, or even Titan, in the vessel of a charged melee or grenade that would inflict similar damage to an enemy over time. Now, another weapon that holds unique value that could be incorporated into a new subclass would be the Wither Horde. Bearing similar qualities to Taken enemies, the Wither Horde creates fields of blight that damages and weakens its enemies over time. A grenade ability that could be charged to create large blight fields would be a viable option for Warlocks to wield with a Vapor subclass. And it is the Taken that catch my attention further here, since it is our Taken enemies that might be the basis for future darkness-themed abilities. Outside of the blights and Taken bubbles that the Taken enemies have, there's quite a few unique skills that Guardians could benefit from. Hunters could certainly adapt into the ability to phase shift like Taken Thrall, an ability that we already see out of the Mask of Bakris. Now, a Tachyon Scream and Detonation are another source of adaptive abilities for Guardians to wield. Although I'm sure a Tachyon Scream would ultimately lead to a new Yeet cheese, I can envision a super ability that Guardians would cast to create a shockwave of essence of Tachyon Force along with detonations, a super attack that could be wielded by Warlock or Titans possibly. Taken captains have the ability to cast waves of darkness that disorient and stun enemies. This is another attack that Guardians could have added into a darkness-themed class tree like Vapor. Most fittingly, in my opinion, would be a charged melee attack for Warlocks. Warlocks could also potentially wield powers similar to an Acolyte's Eye via the use of a Rift, allowing Warlocks to throw or even carry a darkness-infused eye similar to that of an Arc Buddy that we've already seen in the game. Now, it's also Warlocks that could adapt to the Brood or Wizard powers into a new skill tree. The darkness mists that are created by these enemies could be rendered into a poisonous-based ability, allowing Guardians to cast a grenade or even a super attack to project a field of poisonous dust that applies damage over time to its enemies, similar to the Squall and Storm super of Stasis Hunters. But what more is there that Guardians could do with a Vapor-like Darkness class? Well, if we look beyond what we have seen within the game of Destiny, we might be able to derive some conclusions about what Vapor subclasses will come with, and possibly even the inspiration behind Bungie's newest creation. Now, the first place I want to look is at the Diablo series. Diablo has a unique playable character called the Witch Doctor, a cross between a necromancer and a sorcerer. The Witch Doctor possesses many abilities that could be inspiration towards a Vapor-themed class for warlocks to utilize, relying on abilities that steal the life force from opponents in order to either stay alive or gain more power. The warlock could cast attacks of terror or decay to immobilize enemies and weaken them over time. Now, I wouldn't expect to see warlocks summoning the dead from the ground, but summoning fields of poison and decay that cripple all who stand within it seems like a perfect fit for me. Now, the next place I would like to look for Vapor inspiration is World of Warcraft. And while Warcraft holds several characters that could lead to inspiration of a Vapor subclass, it is one in specific that I feel would be most suitable to fill a spot for Titan, and that is the Unholy Death Knight. The Unholy class is one of 3 variations for the Death Knight in World of Warcraft. The Unholy Knight wields an array of abilities that range from festering attacks to large areas of corruption. With a mix of close and mid-range attacks, the Unholy Knights can tank through large crowds of enemies with stunning and immobilizing attacks that both wound and plague the enemy and allow the Knights to supercharge themselves to monstrous heights. Titans could easily adapt quite a few of the Unholy Death Knight's abilities into a new Vapor-themed Darkness class. Now, when thinking about the possibilities Vapor abilities can bring, it's hard not to get excited for hunters. It seems such a natural skill for hunters to possess, right? So what would a subclass for Vapor mean for hunters? The first thing to mind here is gas bombs and traps. And for inspiration with that, we look no further than one of the Apex legends, and that's Caustic. Now, a crazy former scientist who uses Nox gas traps and grenades that disorients and damage enemies. Traps that can be set off when shot, triggered, or activated by its user. Additionally, Caustic can see his enemies through the smoke, which is very similar to something hunters can already do. So this could easily be adapted into a poison Vapor-based class for the hunters. But what more could hunters do with Vapor? Well, I'm glad I asked. What about poisonous darts? How about a charged melee that utilizes a blowgun type animation that allows hunters to fling a poisonous dart at their enemies, like we have recently seen out of the game Ghost of Tsushima. Darts that can stun and immobilize enemies or drain them of life over time, or confuse them to possibly even attack one of their own allies. I might be biased in saying this, but it is the hunter that I am truly excited to see with the new Vapor skills. But for now, the waterhole discussions will have to continue because Guardians won't have a chance to use the new Vapor skills until the Witch Queen arrives, which is currently projected somewhere between mid and early 2022. But to feed our curious minds, Bungie again will be revealing a slew of details and footage from Witch Queen on August 24th, a stream you will certainly not want to miss. And while much of the focus is towards whether there will be a new Vapor style subclass, don't forget that Stasis could see many more updates along the line, including new variations to its supers between all 3 of the subclasses. Needless to say, there's much to be excited for in the upcoming months for Destiny 2. But that's going to wrap things up for my thoughts on the new Vapor Darkness class. What's your opinion on the potential new subclass? Let me know in the comments below what you think Vapor will offer if it even comes, and what character you're most excited to see wielded. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If so, be sure to hit the like button below and the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Both are greatly appreciated, And before you leave the video today, be sure to check out the Discord link in the description below, as I have recently partnered up with my friend Redrix to provide everyone with a better quality experience and community out of Discord. Until next time, Guardians, this has been Profane, wishing you some happy hunting.